Or in the background.
Coming live from 15 minutes outside where they ride by.
Yo, it's your boy Ron, that is Vay, and this is HUHH Around the Culture, the latest podcast in the game. Our partner in rhyme, Beezy. What's up, brother?
What up, dog? You all right?
Hey, I'm all right, man. It was a long night, man. Thanks to Kenny and friends, we had a long night, bro.
Yeah. It's a good night, though. It's a good night. I'm interested. I am definitely interested in your thoughts, brother.
Well, you know I'm rocking, and this is my second time I've worn this, man, my CHECKMATE joint, right? You know, I got my CHECKMATE shirt on, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Last time I wore this was when I wore this a little bit prematurely. I wore it when Might Delete Later came out, and I thought that was the move. And that tape didn't age well, my friend. That tape didn't age well, my friend. Yeah, it didn't age well at all. So, yeah, what did you think about last night, man? I know we kind of popped on, did like a post-show recap. What were your thoughts about the pop out?
Oh man, and excuse the background noise, the sirens. New York City, man. What can you say? But shit, man, where to start? I thought it was great. Like when we was talking on the Twitch, when the back and forth was happening on the Twitch, someone had said that the performance had went from like a D to a A+, and I couldn't agree more. I don't know if I had it at a D, but I definitely think that the opening set left much desired, and I like the sentiment behind it, and I appreciated what he was doing as far as putting on for a city. I just thought it went a little long, and but I did look up. I'm not in LA, so I didn't know a lot of those artists to get into, and I think that was the whole point. But I definitely feel like things got kicked off with Mustard Set. Mustard Set was that shit was live, man. And I think that specifically once Ty Dolla $ign came out, did his thing, and like you sort of knew that once Ty Dolla $ign came out, it was only gonna get better and better in terms of the tier of artists. And so, man, Tyler the Creator, man. I know this is basic hip hop shit, and the bar is very low, but the fact that he raps without the vocals, rapping without your vocals, man, I feel like it should not have to be said, but it has to be said, where it's such a regular thing now with rappers rapping over their track as opposed to doing it live, all the way live. And it's not to say that I enjoy it any less, because Roddy Ricch was doing it, and I enjoyed Roddy Ricch's performance, but there's something about rapping it live that takes it from here to there. And I think Tyler was a big standout for that reason. YG was a big standout, not for that reason, but just seeing him and Mustard on stage again was great to see. And then Kendrick was Kendrick, bro.
Kendrick was Kendrick. And let me explain why I got the CHECKMATE shirt on, right? Because in chess, you got to be 3 to 5 moves ahead. And I think K-Dot has played this game brilliantly as a master chess player. If you study the art of war, the 48 laws of power, or the 33 strategies of war, right? You got to defeat your enemy and your opponent totally. You have to annihilate them, defeat them, break their will, break their spirit. Last night was a showcase of that. It was a masterful move. It was CHECKMATE. That's why I got the shirt on, bro. It was CHECKMATE. Kenny played that. K-Dot, Kung Fu Kenny played that the best you can play it, man. And this morning I'm thinking, how do you recover from that? Because from a cultural perspective, he's galvanized the whole coast. You saw the beginning of the show. A lot of folks didn't like that the artist only had one song to perform, but it was more so of a showcase, giving back. Yo, all eyes on you. You got this Amazon, this Twitch look, you know, this look to millions and millions across the world. let's showcase this West Coast talent. And he did that. He accomplished that. A Head. That's his name. I didn't name the brother. I thought he was low energy. I've never heard him spit, do a set. I don't know if you've heard. Have you heard him do a set before?
Nah, I've never. That was my
I just like low energy. I thought they could have brought another kind of keep the crowd engaged in the beginning. I know that's his tour DJ, some DJ or whatever. So I understand why he got that look, but I just didn't, I didn't care for that set. But man, to see, I was surprised. Before the show, we said he can go one or two ways. He can go the war route or peace route, and he went war route. He was war ready. He was dressed red. He started off with Euphoria. It was just it was a great moment. It was a great moment for Kendrick. It was a finishing blow to Drake, I believe. It's gonna be hard to recover. We will talk about it later on the show. I don't know what you could do to recover from that. And it was just a good for West Coast hip hop and hip hop in general.
You don't think that he both War and Peace? Because he found the brilliant about it is that he did challenge, but then at the end of the day, to be able to unify, have Crips and Bloods on stage together, unified, like, I think looking at the bigger picture, that to me, that's hip hop. And yeah, he chose war, but it was for a purpose, for the purpose of peace. And there was a bigger picture that he had, and he accomplished that.
I think so, and that's a good point. It was bringing Fences, Mustard, YG that had previous issues in the past. I think he did accomplish both in one fell swoop. So it was masterful. Again, I've been they last night, Vay. They said I was looking at the screen.
You had dipped. You had like at one point all you saw was the motor. Where Ron go?
Hey, we were going to name this podcast Two Dope Dads. And when you're a dad, you're a hip hop dad, you got to do dad shit. Yeah. So I had to do some dad shit. 6 hours yesterday, damn. What more y'all want from me? I was only gone for a few minutes. I saw most of it. I was on my phone. And funny about it is I was following the chat. You know what I mean? I was following the chat. Yeah. It was cool. So they trying to find ways to hate on me, bro. They trying ways to hate on me, man. It's all good, man. It's all good. So what were your main takeaway other than we were in peace angle? You think he accomplished both? His set list was pretty short. I will say that it wasn't a long set list. What were your other takeaways of the night?
It was definitely a shorter set, and I kind of get it because it seemed like I think someone said it last night. It was like a carefully crafted, curated list. And what I think my biggest takeaway, honestly, is the fact that he did so hip hop in the sense of putting on for your city, representative of your city. Hip hop is a culture with rules and traditions, and in the traditional sense, hip hop has always been about the people. It's always been, and like what Kendrick did. I'd love to see, and what I missed was more regional. This is like, I also feel like, before I get into my next thought, I also feel like this is how he's masterfully alienated Drake. And obviously Drake has done himself no favors, like crying foul and, what Guan Delilah and posting pics at soccer games and all this bullshit. But like, but essentially, this is Black culture. This is African culture. Like, like he's a griot. He's an African griot, preserving the culture and the oral traditions and the genealogies. And hip hop is the pulse. He brought it back to that essence where, as not only an outsider but also as an infiltrator, which I think is more important. Like, he's not a colleague, he's a fucking colonizer. Beware of this dude, because he did such and again, Drake did a chance because Drake is so purposeful and unapologetic in anything that deals with culture in that way, outside of battle rap. But even the battle rap thing, I don't even believe it anymore because this is the second best. Cried foul. Like what? Like nah, bro. But I think that, you know, regardless of how talented Drake is, there's still this disconnect that he has from Black American culture because he was raised Canadian Jewish, and yeah, try to use his father from his Black credibility, but it's just the same reason why, you know, J. Cole, who is biracial and has a white, but it's cringy to hear him say the word nigga. It's just we're talking culture, and I think that Kendrick was so masterful in laying it. There's I don't know how Drake comes back, honestly, especially when you have the power to unify Crips and Bloods. Like that's some Malcolm shit. Like no one man should have all that power, bro. Like powerful, and that's deep. You know, Kendrick to me is everything he said
he is. Made me he tapped thick into it. And it was last night because, you know, I went back like deep into his catalog, Beef Pop. You know, I'm gonna keep it a $150. I'm not a big To Pimp a Butterfly fan. I'm not a Morale fan. And really, Good Kid, Mad City, when people say it's the best album in the last 25 years, but then I don't get it, right? So my favorite albums from Kendrick was Section 80, and I Exportist, High Power, Ronald Reagan. That's where Kendrick is really coming in and really kind of getting to the pocket from a rhyme, from a flow perspective, vocal effects. It's just a young artist that's spitting and really getting into his lane from a lyricist perspective. So that's why I appreciate Section 80 so much. And then when we went to Damn reminds me of Section 80, but it's more of a polished, an evolved Kendrick Lamar. And to me, you know, it's always like around people can't kind of define what I'm trying to say or really communicate it well. It's the try hard, right? It's like the package. You look at something like, for example, he poured everything he had into College Dropout, Kanye West. And then you have Late Registration, you have Graduation. Now, Graduation, Late Registration, you would say that Kanye was trying to craft a masterpiece. It doesn't sound as organic as his first album, College Dropout.
You said that. Oh, My Beautiful. I was about to say, I felt that Dark Fantasy.
Yeah. He's trying to craft a masterpiece, right? So I think that's where I put that in the category, even though I think it's a far better album, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, than To Pimp a Butterfly. I put Fly in that category, you know, and I put in that category, even though that's credited as one of Kendrick Lamar's greatest works. So my point is, Section 80, I'm a big fan of Damn. I find myself going back to listen to those albums, but I think he made me a believer last night because I saw his power. I saw generations of hip hop in the form, moment of West Coast hip hop, him uniting different sets. It was just beautiful to see. And I don't see, to your point, how Drake can recover from this, because this is a man without a home. You know, he's not from Memphis. He was raised in Canada. You know, he's a 6, Toronto. And I hate to say it, he might be. I don't want to say he's Ja Rule, because you got to think we can't really compare. I don't think they're anonymous, right? Because Drake's been running the game or running some parts of the hip hop game since 2009. Ja Rule didn't have it. It's 2024. So you talk about, you know, Drake's allegiance or ties with Lil Baby, with 21 Savage, with Future. It's hard pressed for me to say that out of here like that, but it's hard for me to see how you recover from this. So what do you think if he were to recover? If you're in Drake, if you're in the OVO or the OVO, would you be advising Drake to do right now?
The only thing I could tell him is focus on the music. And only because we've seen historically, will be able to recover bad public image. Good music will always allow us to forget that. Whether My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, allowing us to forget about the Taylor Swift incident, Rick Ross, Deeper Than Rap, having us forget about the fact that he's a CO, Chocolate Factory, having us forget all that R. Kelly bullshit. Good music always has historically solved the problem, and I think that that is the only way. Like I've seen posts, or I've seen folks say, "Does he even come back?" But you know, he's got to turn it up a notch. You know, he's got to artistically. He has to do the thing that we've always complained about him with the growth. He has to turn it up. Content, something has to change in the content. Something in the approach bars. He needs to write his own shit. Like, he needs to write his own shit anyway. But there's like, and this is a whole nother conversation. There's so many damn reference tracks popping up everywhere. Like, Mob Ties reference track just popped up, and it's like, bro, you know. So I think Justin, if he really goes in with the making a masterpiece, but do a that feels like this Kendrick moment has revived something in him, and get good art out of it. You know, if he can drop, if he can drop just a master, because I personally, and this is just me, I don't think he has a classic album. I think he has some really, but I don't even consider Take to be, I think Take Care is his closest, but to me, Take Care is just, it's like a few track middle that you can, but I see why people put up there, because, you know, that was sort of his coming out party, pause. Nothing is a good album, but I just don't think that he's made anything to the caliber of, you know, Good Kid, Mad City. I mean, so good music is the remedy, and I think in that music, on some hip hop shit, fuck the singing, step the bars up, step the content up, beats, you know, pull a jet with Blueprint and do a new sound, you know, prep up, but just focus on the music, man. Start taking the art seriously.
Asve, this man the same formula for like 15 joints. So to ask him to switch it up now, he had Caribbean Drake when he downed his Caribbean his sound, Afrobeats Drake. Then you had, you know, the drill Drake when he took some of the UK rap and the UK drill sound and the Chicago. Then you had ATL Drake. Then you had Miami Drake. Then you had Casas Drake. Then you had Toronto Drake. Now you got Wandwan Delilah Drake, and you got Sexy Red Drake. So you asking this man to kind of dig deep and be more substantive.
You know which Drake, sorry not to cut you off, but you know which Drake we haven't gotten yet still? With all them Drakes you named, you know which Drake we still haven't gotten?
Introspective Drake?
Dope ass artist Drake. Every great artist has that moment where, whether it's Jay on Blueprint, you know, had a few of them. We haven't gotten dope ass art making dope ass music. Drake, we haven't gotten that version of him yet. And being more intentional about I would even say this, like, if you don't want to focus on the bars, then motherfucker, take some voice lessons and be a better singer. And R&B, make a dope ass R&B album. Is like, I only don't fuck with Drake on a singing tip because he's not like, I can't play, you know, Maxwell, D'Angelo, or even someone more, you know, Lucky Day, Giveon, and then Drake. No, like, if you're gonna do it, do it. Either one, whether it's the hip hop shit, whether it's the shit, but he's just been towing the line and going like one time, and it's worked because he's been a hit. But when it comes down to actually doing the music, it takes a level of focus, and you kind of have to a little tunnel vision for a little. So, I mean, in order to make something great. And so I'm like, if rap, then shit, man, take some voice lessons, be a better singer. You know what I'm saying? Like, learn how to really go there. You know, if that's what you, but just taken seriously. And
Right.
Family Matters, Family Matters, he was rapping his ass off, and it was like, oh, this is what it sounds like. He has blues, the line, the stakes. He's rapping his ass off. That should be the approach for the music. You don't necessarily have to rap about being the best rapper, but the wanting to just going in, wanting to be better than you were before level. That's what I'm asking for.
And that's a fair ask. That's a fair ask. One thing, Drake, Kendrick caught a body. Drake got bodied in this battle, but we got to give Drake some credit for pulling this out pause of K-Dot, because K-Dot was dormant for a little bit. He was laying low. He had the few spot, guest appearances with Baby Keem. He had record, the Marine, and this kind of research, it kind of brought K-Dot back. I think if K-Dot's dissing anybody else, if he's dissing Gibbs, even if he's, I don't know if the magnitude of this moment is as big as to go mega star like Drake. I mean, Drake just took the record back from K-Dot with the biggest tour of all time. So Drake was at the top of the top. He just did his run with 21 Savage. He a little run with Cole at his tour for All the Dogs. He was running. It was 3, and Drake contributed to this resurgence of K-Dot. So even though he caught an L, just looking for him right now, we got to give Drake some props for bringing this out of Kenny. You know what I mean?
I'm one of the people that I don't believe that narrative whatsoever. By the way,
that's a Mike D.
I've never bought into the narrative of Kendrick taking all this time off, because there are reference tracks out there for Baby Keem point to, okay, during the time that projects, he's still been working. He's still been writing his cousin, for starters. Also, he started a new business with PG Lang, and that takes time to the business in order with that. Not to mention, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers was his last TDE project, so I'm sure, and I think I've said he was probably getting all his ducks in a row business wise. The big indicator was the Big Steppers album, and I know I like that album, but any rapper, anybody that raps, like who raps for a living, any rapper can listen to that album and hear what he's doing lyrically and be able to tell, even though you may not fuck with the been actively, he hasn't taken a break rapping, and if he's either at the same level or he's gotten better. And like any rapper with ears can hear what's doing, can hear the bar work. Again, you may not fuck with the music, that's different, but you can just hear the bar work and tell, okay, he's rapping. He hasn't taken any time off. And so, and I'm glad Mike gave me my credit yesterday because I predicted this, but I'm saying, like, I was not surprised about his output with the battle. I was not surprised with any of it. And actually, the thing that I'm real impressed with is that he got on stage last night and performed Euphoria, basically down, no. And it was just from a bar standpoint, like, just technical rap stuff, being able to articulate words under immense pressure. You know what I mean? Like, it's one thing to rap a song in the shower or at home, you know what I mean? But like a packed out arena, a song that is not an easy song to rap, like, nah, man, Kendrick, I've never gotten the sense that he hasn't been working or that he's been slacking. All I've gotten the sense is that the man with other things, he's trying to grow his brand in midst of staying on top of his craft. So, nah, man, that shit annoys me.
Yeah,
never into that narrative, man.
You were a Negro or Visdamus in this thing with K-Dot, bro. So you kind of saw it happen. You were playing. I wasn't. So that was very astute of you, Vay. me ask you this: if you're Kenny, let me ask you the second question here. If you're Kendrick right now, next move, 40, you collected a body, maybe two. You want to throw J. Cole in there. You collected 2 bodies. You've sent your flag in your home. You put your people on. You united. You galvanized the whole coast. You brought out a legend, Dr. Dre, who did Pop 50. We're gonna talk about that at the end of the show. And so, what's your next move? What's your next move if you're Kendrick Lamar?
I'm dropping the West Coast album. You know, I'm West Coast themed album. Like, he's already set the table. And I think because right now one could say that he has one could make the argument that he set the bar very high, with not like us being obviously, you know, how do you come back from that? And there could be pressure on me, like I know to do, on K Dot, and to me, like, just lean into it, man. Go ahead, get a more tracks from Mustard, pull Dre and get some tracks from Dre. Them Dre different, man. Get Alchemy, get Quick, Battle Cat, get anybody from LA, and just go ahead, go all out with the LA thing, man. You know, we want it. We obviously want it. And he set us up for that. But that's the route I would go, and get as many, you know, try to pull some of those artists that he featured in DJ Heads, you know, get a new artist, bring on a new artist, and, you know, put somebody on and put on for the West in album mode.
Oh, in album mode. And I think, you know, they ragged me yesterday in the comments, which they always, and I don't care. Subscribe, by the way. I love playing the villain or whatever.
Yes,
you guys
sir,
are still, the guys are still tuning in, so you know, you guys must like it.
Yeah.
Here's some new music. Credit to Mike. Maybe you might have said it. Super said it. Somebody said it. Last night's purpose wasn't for new music. It was to, again, put on for the West Coast. It was to bury Drake at that flag, knock over his piece. That's what it was about. It wasn't about anything else. So, you know, so no new music last night. It wasn't the purpose of the show. So I get it. I understand it. Now in the coming days, with this momentum, with this build up, we get a classic Kendrick Lamar album. I'm hoping something that sounds a little bit more West Coast, a West Coast Damn, a West Coast Section 80. Let's take it back to they put 616 to LA because that's favorite. One of my hell, it's gonna sound crazy. It's one of my Kendrick Lamar records ever. To be quite honest, I don't know why I love that. Maybe it's the sample. Maybe it's the Al Green sample. Maybe that's what it is.
It's a dope record. It's a dope record, but Kendrick got a lot of records, man.
Euphoria. You know what? Euphoria. Hearing it last night in all its glory. Yeah. Euphoria is like that.
Euphoria is like that.
And Euphoria is like that.
Yeah.
So I'm back to my original thing. Meet the Grams was the weakest one.
It is, but it's the most important. It's the most important song of that battle. Easily. Talk about and like, yeah. And it's not the best song, but it was enough to completely stop the momentum of fucking banger. And I don't know if, you know, he could have recovered had he not dropped had he let Family Matters gain the momentum. I don't know, having this conversation. I know if Gus same way, because a lot of it was the timing as well. The fact that Meet the Grams came 45, you know, he's sitting here shook up, and it's just like one more, like, oh my God, like the Academics was like, again. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think that's what played into a lot of why Kendrick won.
It was checkmate. Checkmate, man. All around, man. All around. Hit like and subscribe. It's around that's Vay. We go to our next topic because we got a couple topics. We want to talk about in hip hop. This is something that's going to be remembered from generations on. we're gonna look back 25 years from now and say, this is a moment for hip hop. We're going to talk about that in a minute, but I want to get into two subjects that I don't think you were able to touch on. You might have touched on it via text or, on in our chat. Two things. One, Verzuz is coming back. Yesterday on Juneteenth, Elon Musk, Swiss Beats, Timbaland put this picture out. They got a lot of pushback on the picture. Elon's got an Occupy Mars shirt on about the timing of it all. Exclusive distribution deals. What are your thoughts about X returning? What are your thoughts on the timing of the event? And who do you want to see in a future Verzuz matchup, or is it just dead in your mind?
Oh man, Elon found the right two dudes that'll fall for it. And respectfully. Because I love but I thought the timing of this was terrible. But more than the timing of it, and like Elon Musk just, I think it was like action suit or something like that. Like, just the narrative around is weird. But I think like Verzuz, it's kind of done. Maybe
done? I think
maybe not done.
There's some meat on that.
Maybe
bone,
not done. Maybe not done. And honestly, I don't want it. I really only want those two brothers to win. I love seeing Black people win, and I love seeing people win. It's not done, but it's going to take them a minute, or it's going to take something for them to build that momentum back that they had built in 2021 and 2020 and 2021. Like, it's been a minute, and it's made some iconic moments, and I think that we can get it again. I just think that the approach has to be bigger than before. Like, it has to be, you have to do it in a way that we, otherwise it's just not going to hit the same.
Yeah, and I think in the platform that Musk had lends itself to do it. I mean, they're rolling out a TV app, so X will have its own TV. YouTube is the premier #1 destination for video consumption or entertainment video consumption. They're branding themselves as an entertainment company. So I think it's no other vehicle to distribute Verzuz other than X to move into another direction. I'm talking about impressions, views. It's a big deal.
Amazon
could be one too, but the ink is dry now, so we'll see.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing, I guess. Quality, because quality has always been the issue with Verzuz, and I feel like if they can get the quality to what that Kendrick concert, and not to say that the quality is perfect, that can sort of be the bar that they start and go from there. Then they might don't. I just hope that not the same approach, because there as gloomy that it was in time, it wasn't, it had its issues, like it, most of which were quality. So I hope that they try.
Well, X is put out. I know the Jim Rome show, Jim Rome, legendary sportscaster based out of LA. He was on CBS Sports for a while. He was on Fox Sports for a while. His show has been on X for the last 2 weeks. Quality, it's been
good.
It's been really, really good. It's like a broadcast studio show. WWE is doing like these little micro matches where they're like, it's called Speed or something like that. They're like 2-minute, 3-minute matches. Quality has been good. Before Tucker Carlson, his show's been running on X. The show looks good. But I thought it was kind of funny, like a funny sense of humor. They did put in 100% ownership of the platform, and X is just a distribution channel, a distribution deal. So, they're probably trolling a little bit with the timing of the announcement, but they did put in the release notes that they do have 100%.
Okay.
And Elon had a shirt on, it's Occupy Mars. It's he's not a dumb man, so he's not doing it. It's not an accident that this was done yesterday. It's not.
it was weird timing, but thankfully we had the Kendrick concert to like. But at the same time, I lose two dudes to win because they, you know, Dutch pillar in our culture. So, you know, we don't have to agree with every move they make, but I do the best, and I hope that the approach is taking it to the next.
Got it. And yo, you say you think it's dead. You think it's run its course. Now that it's coming back, who do you want to see? Give me one or two matchups.
But the matchups that I don't think they can make the matchups happen that I want them. It's the like. Well, I wanted to see JD and Puff. That's probably not going to happen.
That's not going to happen.
That shit's dead. That shit's. I wanted to see Ray and Puff. Anything with Puff is dead.
That's not happening.
I would obviously love to see a Jay and Nas happen. On the R&B, I've always wanted to see Boyz II Men and Jodeci.
That's easy, man. That's not.
I think is what.
I know
this is what I want to see. I want to see it.
It's gonna be a long night for boys. Still a long night.
You listen. You say that and start singing. If it comes down to and these boys go a cappella, shit, it's gonna be a long night for Jodeci.
Yo,
if they just go on a cappella, if you just have boys in 2024, are you really gonna say on this platform?
What I'm gonna say is that JoJo, I'm gonna say Casey hit. JoJo gonna take a hit of that bottle, and it's gonna be some singing you ain't never heard of. It's gonna be
windows breaking.
Take it back to 1994, 1993. That's what they're gonna do.
Listen, keep it with the music, because the minute Boyz II Men sings a cappella, if they do that, Can You Stand the Rain a cappella, if they do, they did a Beatles cover yesterday. The minute them dudes sing a cappella,
I'm hoping that JoJo, you know, get that liquid courage, showing what it really is, man. So you want to see Casey, Boyz II Men. Who else you want to see?
Yeah, that's off the top. I want to. I know done it, but Just Blaze did not have any favors. Swiss, right? Swiss,
he battled somebody. I thought Swiss went against Timbaland.
But I'm just a fan of Blaze, and I think that if he plays the right tracks, he just whatever battle he did before just didn't play all the right tracks on a producing end. Trying to think, the adult one actually, Common. If you put up against say like Talib or like even type shit,
that might work. That might work.
You know what I'm saying? It has to be obviously in the same lane, but yeah.
You can do Common. I think you can do Common versus Cube. Cube? I mean, Cube had the records, and then there's some. You take the corners, the food. Hungry. Common got some street rec action. You know what I'm saying? You can. It's different. It's different.
What is Common gonna play when Cube plays? What's the you know what I'm saying? Like what is he gonna? What's Common gonna? What's like? I love Common, but I just think sonically it's so different. Yeah.
Though I'm trying to think.
Cube is tough, man.
You could do old school West Coast versus newer school West Coast. I mean, I don't know if it'll be a fair fight, but you can do Game versus Cube. I don't know. Do that. You can do that. I want to see T.I. I want to see Tip versus Wayne.
Yeah. Honest is fifth. I wanted to see him go at 50. I wanted to see that.
I don't know if 50's ever going. I don't know if we're going to do it though.
Yeah, I think that people prized 50 would be the favorite, but T.I. would surprise a lot of people.
I think he would, but if 50 digs into Return of the Body Statues 50 and go into mixtape 50, you know what I'm saying? T.I.'s my dude. It'll be a long night for Clifford, man. It's gonna be a long night.
What about Wayne in 50?
Oh, I think Wayne and 50 might be a better matchup because Wayne can dig in his mixtape bag too. It'll be tougher. 50 would have to lose some sleep. I think he might lose a little bit of sleep for Tip, but he would lose a lot more sleep going against Wayne.
Yeah, because Wayne got features too, man. Features, bro.
You can pull out. He can just put about 10 joints from Dedication series and just say what's up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Crazy, man. I'll be tuning in. Shout out to X. Hopefully we can get a deal too. We're not gonna take a picture though and put it out on Juneteenth, but maybe we'll put it on the 4th of July. Maybe we get a deal. We got a couple weeks to get a deal going. I was always interested in X as a platform and what could it do to casters. So we'll see. I want to segue into another hot tip you didn't get a chance to weigh in on. There was been talk about Jay-Z's move, right? He's performed for, well, let's take it back a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago. He did the Louis Vuitton show in Paris. Pharrell took the director reviews, videos, music. What's some of the most iconic, biggest moments in hip hop? And lastly, when you answer this, did his performance last night, the pop out at the Forum in LA on 2024, did that raise that to the level of one of the greatest hip hop moments in history?
I think so. That shit was huge, man. That shit was huge. You know, I think so where this pop out concert will land in terms of moments, but this is 2 years. Pardon me. Other moments that come to mind, you know, I think the death of Tupac, probably one of the biggest culture shifting moments. Unfortunately, Tupac and Big definitely came to mind. And along those lines, the 95 Source Awards definitely came to mind between Night, all in the video.
Outkast was,
and now the legendary Dre moment. Yeah. Another moment that came to mind, Kanye. Kanye has two or three. Kanye has 2 or 3 moment. Obviously, the George Bush doesn't care about black people. The biggest one to me was Kanye versus 50. In that the record, that was a defining moment. You know, obviously it was the end of gangster rap, but it was of an ushering in of a new kind of rapper that had stuff and pushed to the front. I thought that was those are my ones, and then a couple others that I had just came to mind. I don't know if they're the top, but they're just, oh yeah, that was big. Remember the Tupac hologram was crazy.
That was crazy. Yeah.
Tupac hologram. Jay, big moment, huge moment.
Big moment.
Got a great document.
Yep.
One more recently, Black Thought Funk Flex freestyle. I thought that was a moment. I thought that was a great. And then this one that I had was actually I had two last ones. Rappers boycott in the Grammys 7 to 88, 9. Somebody in the comments help me out. But when they big statement, and then my last one, Lauryn Hill, she swept the Grammys that year.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's a good. Let me. I don't know if I'm gonna go in chronological order, but these are the most that stand out in my mind. Biggest moments in hip hop history. I would say Eazy-E going to the White House with George W. Bush, or George H.W. Bush, the first Bush. Big moment, because that was one of the first time whole explicit lyric that they were pushing out, hip hop censors, advisory stickers, and that was one of the first conversations where hip politics kind of drove into the forefront. And in the visual of seeing Eazy at the White House meet with was crazy. You know what I'm saying? That kind of sparked those conversations. Another big moment in hip hop history, I want to say one of MC Hammer's first performances, Neil Hall show. Crazy. I think he did either Turn This Mother Out or Hammer Don't Hurt Him. Yeah, that was iconic, big TV. I mean, you know, for us, that's like our David Letterman, or Jay Leno, or Johnny Carson, or Night Live, or Arsenio Hall show. So that was a big.
Yo, what about the final episode? What's Arsenio Hall show with the cipher?
Oh,
yeah.
Cipher. Yeah. It's a big moment. That's a big moment.
I'm trying to now, because I'm trying to think of it was mad rappers. I'm pretty sure. Like I remember MC Light was one of them. It's insane. But yeah, sorry, not to cut you off.
So I'm honest, and I remember, because I remember it might not be a biggest in history, but I remember Tupac's interview with the Sourcing, that walking on in like Sika or Venice Beach, and they were walking on the pier. That's the interviews that stick out of my mind. I remember Fab Five Freddy. I don't know if did Fab Five Freddy interview Pac? One of these, man. I remember the Pac gave the Ice Cube interview that he gave with forgot who he interviewed with, but I think he was on like I think it was ABC News or something like that. It was something big. The interview the Ice Cube gave. Another big moment in hip hop, the '95 Source Awards. Again, as you said, Dre had that iconic moment. The South got something to say. Suge Knight will be dancing in the Vogue, you know, all on the record. Come over to Death Row. That's big. Obviously, the Death Tupac and Biggie were big moments. What's another big moment? Kanye had another moment you left out. He had another one. Remember, he won the Grammys, and there was a talk that if he didn't win, then he got on stage. It's like, you know, they said, "What I'm going to do if I don't win?" He said, "You know, I guess we'll never find out." You know, and walked off.
You know, your boy Jason Tatum tried to recreate that.
It came off kind of corny, you know, but it was cool. You know, it came off. I hate the Celtics, by the way. Shout out to the Miami Heat and the Dallas Mavericks. Another big moment. ODB, you know, storming the stage and saying, you know, Woo's for the children. That was
Puffy is good. Wu-Tang is the best.
Wu-Tang is the best. Wu-Tang's for the children.
Come on that, man.
I did too. Another big moment of the video era. I TRL and watching Dr. Dre and Snoop roll down Times Square in that drop top with about 100,000 people in Times Square. Big moment. Another low-key moment from TRL, hip-hop moment that folks don't talk about, was Little John and Scrappy doing What You Gonna Do in Times Square when they went like in that bus and they had about 50,000 or 100,000 people going crazy. You know, so that's another big moment. 2001, I forgot. You supposed to be a J. You got the book of Hove, eh? I can't believe you ain't say this. Summer Jam, 2001.
Oh,
you know, he put them on the Summer Jam screen. That became a whole saying in hip hop. He bugging. He forgot. He brought out Miss Elliott show. He brought out EPMD on that show. He brought out that man. He brought out Michael Jackson on that show.
Michael Jackson, yeah.
So, you know, those are some of the big moments. And I'm just cutting to the chase. Last night is going to be one of those moments. This is one of the moments for the social media age, for this new generation. You don't get a bigger moment than what happened last night. So remember, for those folks that you saw folks with their phones up, capturing the moment. LeBron James, celebrities were there. You know, it's just going to be, Hit Boy was there, big hit. Russell Westbrook. This is going to be one of those generations that they'll never forget. And K-Dot provided that. DMX and Woodstock. That's another moment.
DMX and Woodstock. Oh,
crazy moment. Crazy. DMX at the Apollo doing Rough Riders Anthem. Pull up on YouTube. Yeah. Crazy stuff, man.
I was gonna say Dave Chappelle Block Party.
Yeah, Dave Chappelle Block Party. Crazy. Kanye might have another moment. I'm thinking when him and Common debuted the Food, they used the show version on the album. That's a big moment in hip hop. So it's a lot of different things, man. But those are my moments, man. But to answer the question, thought I was gonna be on some hating shit today, or talking out both sides of my neck. Nah, I'm gonna keep it real on the court in hip hop. It's about the culture, such a about deal. It will be remembered as one of the greatest moments in hip hop history. Happy now?
Very happy. Very.
Happy now. It's all good. It's all. No, it's a real. I'm not even just trolling, man. For real. I think that for this generation, it's for the culture.
You may need to move the camera. I need to make sure nobody has a gun in you.
I got two actually. I got an AK and I got a aiming at me.
I need to make sure right now.
Nah, I'm good. I'm recording this under my own volition right now. This is me of clear mind and thought, right? So, but it's all good. I think we're missing something. Are we missing something? I know we're
missing something, but I can't.
Hit us in the chat. Let us know. We missing something.
Yeah. Redman MTV Cribs came to me. I don't know if that was like a big moment.
Yeah, Redman MTV Cribs. You can say Tupac at the House of Blues.
Yeah.
That might be I think we touched them all. Bro. Pause. But anyway, before we get out of here.
Question for you. Where does Kendrick fall in the conversation?
You just couldn't let me. You're becoming worse, Mike. You just couldn't let me get out of here with earning back favor from the Kendrick fans and our audience. You couldn't let me just end the show. Hate me so much was starting to love me again. So let me make sure I understand your question right. You're asking me where do I think Kendrick falls? Time? Is that what you?
Yeah.
So
the basic.
And when you ask that question, are you saying lyricism or rhyming a bit or catalog? What are you saying?
Everything. If you're making the greatest rapper list, not your favorite rappers, but objective list, an objective list of the greatest 50 rappers, Kendrick fall on that list.
Okay. Kendrick.
This is assuming.
You want a range, or do I have to give you a number? Do you want a range, or can I give you a number?
Give me a number.
I've got Kendrick Lamar on my list, number 11.
Oh, you would. I got
him 11. I got him 11. Relatively speaking, and just looking at everything, 11. Oh. My first number that popped in my head was. But I thought about last night, and I thought about Get Mad City, and I thought about what he's done over the last month or two, and the potential of him dropping another classic. I think I can comfortably with Rakim, Jay-Z, in no particular order, with Nas. Let me just preface this: top three: Pac, Nas, Rakim, Jay-Z, Ghostface, Common, Lil Wayne. LL, Karis, one.
Cube?
I don't got Cube. Face, Scarface ahead of Kendrick Lamar.
Wait, do you have Face above Cube?
I do have Face above. I do.
Really?
That's another show. We might have to dig deep, but people are not gonna be satisfied right now.
11. Okay.
And I can't put them ahead of Common from a catalog perspective. I can't put them ahead of Rakim from a flow perspective. I can't put him above Nas from a catalog and flow perspective. I can't put him over Ghostface perspective. They from a catalog or flow perspective. And then hell, honestly, I better rapper than Kanye West. I don't think he has a better catalog than Kanye West. That's where we
Kanye, his catalog is crazy. Like he might. You can make an argument that he has the greatest catalog in the genre, but Common. Sorry, I'm stuck on Common.
Yeah, Resurrection.
That's an interesting.
Can I borrow $1? Like Water for Chocolate. B.
That's an interesting.
This album is coming out with Pete Rock. I mean, arguably, this man might have 3 classics. I mean, if we're keeping it above 50. And if you stack up, if we wanted to do like a versus and we stacked up Good Mad City against B, I would have to say, that album B is better. I myself listening to B more.
That's an intangible. That's an intangible. Because I can see that. I do listen to B, but Good Kid, Mad City.
That's another episode. But yeah. To the people in the chat, make subscribe. This is Ron. That's Vay. This is A2H8. And I got Kendrick at 11. Thought last night, baby. Tune in.
live from 15 minutes outside where they ride by, expecting them blue lights behind in the grind. Breakfast and dinner time, some of the winter time.